Welcome everyone, Dirty Dad's Gaming After Action Review, and I am your host, Joe Darte. So we're going to kick this off. This is a trio match, fairly new team in the Dirty Dads group. You got Softhammer, you got Fishy, and you got myself, Joe Darte. And we're kind of coming through a little tidbit. Some of us have ex-military backgrounds, so communication level there is pretty good. So we're kind of communicating on what we wanted to do. In this scenario, we end up going way out far out in the circle. We kind of joke that we should probably get an award for who can run all the way across the map in one game. Should be some kind of achievement. And if it's not, or if it is, please let me know and put it in the comments. So if you notice here, we picked two. We picked a recon and a scavenger. We end up going for a scavenger. We pick a primary and alternate landing zones at any entry point, and this allows us to gauge the strength of our enemy. So let's say two teams are falling down on that scavenger. Do we really want to take our chances and be outflanked by a team or caught in the middle like an Oreo? The cream anyway. So we noticed like the recon, there was a couple teams flying down towards that way, so we totally let that whole area go and went for the scavenger instead. Now we're kind of pushing forward in the scavenger. Now if you notice our formation in the upper left hand corner, it's a linear formation, and what it allows us to do is I'm the point man on this. It means I'm the guy that's going to go do essentially go for the scavenger at that position, run across, be the guinea pig, draw the fire if you will, and then one person will overwatch me and be able to turn around and overwatch the other individual. So it's kind of just a linear formation. It's very fast moving. It allows you to cover a lot more ground and not do that stomping over each other. So this is our first engagement. We decided we had all this money. We were going to buy some UAVs, loadouts, get all loaded up, and then we take a pop shot out of a window. Actually, it originally came from down the road. We thought it was in the window. But he repositioned himself, so I'm still scouting for the team. They're back there loading up, prepping themselves with the loadout, and then I'm reporting back. So I find them, we start firing, like, okay, no big deal. You got one. So usually if you one, you got the rest of the team standing. I'm still gauging, I'm like, okay, I'm going to flush them out. I go get my loadout, they're still holding in place, because they're going to allow me to finish scouting that situation in case we get outflanked. So I'm going to come in here. They're holding ground. So I'm 100% in armor. And then I'm going to flush him out right here. Boom! I don't know why. I love it. RPGs will get campers out of you, whatever you want them to. I didn't chance it. People are like, well, you wasted a rocket. You could just went up and meleeed them. I didn't want to chance it because I didn't know where the second person was. Now, you see the glint, that sniper glint that was straight to the 12 there. I saw that, I started running, you got a pop shot off, I'm relaying the message back to my crew, and these walls drive me bonkers. Some of them you can jump over, some are just a tad bit too high. Something I just need to learn in the game. Just maybe spend a day jumping over walls or something properly. So I'm just relaying the message where he is. Now, that right here, he's out there, he took my position. He had to lead on him, he decided he was going to gun him down. Now, I was just going to use support, waiting for the second guy, which I saw over here. The main of their team fired off a shot. Now we kind of press for time here. If you notice, there's a lot of smoke coming in. I got a player down, he's crawling, and then we have to worry about where the other team is going to flush out to. So what we realize is that the other team's going to flush out to our left. I'm going to come over here. He's going to hide on this wall. And then now, if you notice, responsibility of point man goes for the man that does not have a job, if that makes sense. He's going to continue pushing, keep the enemy away from our position while we reconsolidate together. It's a very risky position. You kind of got to look for the exits when you're playing point man at all times. Realize your way out. I'm just make sure I'm properly clearing the entirety of this room, making sure there is no inkling or possibility that somebody can jump out on me, because these people, I don't understand, they camp in a corner the entirety of the game just to get one kill. And we all know that one or two individuals will do that. So if you notice, we're kind of really just, we know there's an enemy here over to our right. We don't know how fast he's going or how far is he going. We know there's an enemy team over there that we haven't finished that engagement. So we're trying. Now, I am horrible at this, so if you die by a random claymore, it's probably from me or people like me. As soon as I find them, I just ditch these things all around. If there's like if you're taking a short path somewhere, chances are you're probably going to land on one of my claymores. I love it. I love getting like that random kill. You're like, wait, I didn't kill anybody. And you're like, oh, I forgot, the claymore went off, which is freaking totally awesome. So we're still going through. We're kind of trying to reposition. We're running from the smoke. Now, personally, I hate this, but it's a very effective. I think the problem is you really got to keep your head on a swivel when you. We call it riding the smoke. When you're riding the smoke in, you really got to keep your head on a swivel because everybody else is waiting to outflank you, and that's kind of what they do. That's kind of the purpose of this. Ride it in, outflank the teams real quick, get your kills, and then, you know, finish off the couple teams that remain in the final circle. Is the premise behind this theory anyway. So if you notice, I'm making a run for it. I'm the point man again. I am hauling. We're still in that linear, very quick engagement formation. And now I'm coming through. Now this is where things get a little bit topsy-turvy kind of for us. We're disoriented. We're running from the smoke. We've lost track of the other teams. We're looting just for some extra cash and some hope. And then me, being an idiot, I didn't break the glass. I thought jumping through it would do it automatically. It did not. I almost got myself killed. If you notice, you're going to find one over here. Fishy end up getting killed by the smoke, but we end up bringing him back when we came up to this point here at the top of the hill. Now, everybody's going to ask, well, why are you stopping at this tiny little point? Here, it's the high ground. We were repositioning ourselves, the entirety of it, to take the top of this circle. Not necessarily this position, just the high ground position. It just so happened to be this little tiny building here with an awesome buy box, which we got to bring him back, and then UAVs and precision airstrikes and stuff like that, which really kind of helps us. In the end, you'll kind of see I use the airstrikes a little bit differently than people normally would. They kind of wait for that opportune time, but then a lot of times I find myself dying and never using it, especially in these tight city areas. Now, we end up catching up inside this building with the entirety of like all these random teams that started to come together. And we were kind of being outflanked, and we needed to cross this road without being seen, and there was a firefight right down there. And what I wanted to do with this airstrike is just clear the road to allow us to just escape, get across to the next buy box, hold down in the building just outside the circle, and not give the vantage point to one of these teams. Because we see it all the time. You're running across the road, next thing you know, you think a team is in a firefight, guy turns around and realizes you're crossing, he wipes you out, you know, or now you're sandwiching somebody. You're just getting this weird, crazy trifecta of killing. You want to wait until everybody's done and come in and clear them all out at the end. You know, or where they're all down to one guy or something like that. So in this building, we kind of reconsolidate for a while. We take up our security positions at different doors and areas and make sure we have sectors of fire, and we start putting our claymores and pretty much fortifying this position. And then we're going to start taking looks at maps, different buildings, how we transition through the alleyways to get into a safer position. So all this talk's kind of going on at this point, which is really great communication, especially for a young team kind of come together. So that's really, really nice.
Repositioning.
You don't really get that in pubs a lot when you do something like this with random players. So now this is our escape. We took the high ground. Everybody's going to judge us on this bridge because I judged myself as we were running, but it was a smart move because over to our right-hand side, you couldn't see it because they were all using suppressors for some reason. I guess they all had their loadouts, but it was just an extreme. It was like World War III going on right next to us with 3 different teams. And you can see some fire coming back there and the red marks. So what we did is we designed this flank. We were going to flank them. Now they're going to set up across the window. I'm going to set up here. And then we got one over here watching. Now we think that one of the teams is going to escape and come up to right. If not, we still got the left cover. That is the game plan in this, is we're setting up a trap for the next team because we know they're incoming. Now what they did essentially is they halted there and they were waiting to see movement because they saw the broken glass. So a little after action review note on this is we probably shouldn't break the glass in the building that we're setting up a trap in. Maybe it did give away. Sometimes it is. Sometimes people aren't. Now I notice him. I start firing. Now, I know my SMG, I'm not going to kill any of these guys from that great distance. Like, yeah, break their armor and stuff like that. Now, I'm not done yet. But this is where that linear really comes in. Each guy's overwatching. Even though I'm down, self-reviving, my buddy can still overwatch me. So he could shoot anything coming near me, and that's how that trap was set up. Now the guy that went straight, we got another kill because they both can overwatch and shoot that one guy. That's why it took him so long to take down the last guy, because we're finishing off his buddy. So that's where that communication come in, and why I really love that linear kind of movement as a team. Now I see a lot of like the trios, they stick together in this tight group, and I'm telling you, I am the guy that will RPG you to death. Okay, I will take your tight little team hiding in a corner, and I will shove as many RPGs as I possibly can at you, and probably a couple of my friends have them too. It's just what I like to do. I despise campers. I don't mind if you're sitting and consolidating and doing whatever. Maybe it's not that I don't like people who camp. I don't personally like camping. I think it's boring. Like if I would just want to play a game and sit in, a corner somewhere for hours on end, I would have just stayed in the military. Okay, and done the same thing in real life. So this is a game, and I want to have fun, and I like that it's action-packed. So we're coming forward here. Now this is kind of where things start to fall apart a little bit. We had a team down. Now our scout man's down. Got caught up in the gas. Now this is where the linear kind of, it screwed us a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. Is because it took me too long. I was slightly too far away from my teammates to get up there quick enough. And it wasn't that I was too far away. It's just there was too many obstacles. I should have been, a couple walls closer. Now this is me trying to figure out where the other team. There were two teams there fighting with each other. They popped in the middle of it, and then they kind of got stuck in between. Now I see the one guy, killed him, and then this is where I glitched. I kept hitting X, but it was a delayed in the I guess the animation of it. And there was like some weird lag just on that. And I went back and forth getting on this thing like 4 or 5 times. It was crazy. I don't know what happened there. Maybe I just froze and kept hitting the button. But we end up taking 7. Should have been a little bit tighter there at the end. We could have definitely easily been top 5. I don't think anybody out here really outgunned us. So if you notice, Hammer, he was kind of that middle guy the entire time, and they tend to get the most kills. Point Man, which was me primarily most of the time, was 2 kills, and then Fishy with 3rd kill. So a lot of times that Point Man gets stuck. So hopefully this helps you guys, gives you a little more insight into kind of the mindset and the planning that goes into some of these games, and hopefully it helps you guys. So leave the comments, and if you like these, we'll keep doing them. So after action review number 1, over. Thank you guys.